This is my first video blog of 2021. It is the 18th of September. And let's see what's gone on. Well, in January I published a new volume of poetry called Pamphlet 2020, written entirely in 2020. I went through a huge writing spurt, and which I also went through one in 2019, only not verse, but songs, which leads us up to what I've done. Those of you who follow any of these things know I said very, very clearly I was never going to make another album, not after the stress and all of that went into crypto creative. There was no way I was going to do that to myself again. And I've kept to that, but not entirely. What I've done is I've made an album and completely recorded here on my Tascam Porta Studio 8-track. I played, obviously, keyboards, percussion, wrote all the songs, sang the songs, did all the mixing and the mastering and any other tricks that I had through WavePad application here on the computer to embellish and so forth. It's kind of what you would call pro-am, professional amateur. You have professional, me, who did all the aforementioned writing and singing and playing, and then you have the amateur, also me, who did the back end, you know, the mixing, mastering, the techie kind of stuff I really am terrible at. Well, no, I got really good with the 4-track, Tascam 4-track, the consistency there. Back in the late 90s, 2000s, early 2000s, I got really good at making, you know, decent home recordings. Many of them are out there. They're online for sale, and some have done pretty good. And I challenge you to go listen to some of my stuff and determine what was done in my basement and what was done professionally. Okay, but this case, to me, it's pretty obvious. What I call it, the DIY, do-it-yourself, DIY giveaways. They're really, to me, I hear them like clear as day. And it took a lot of soul searching, and once I was done with everything I could do to it to make it as polished as possible, I listened, and I listened. You know, on speakers, on headphones, good headphones, bad headphones I listened to it. And finally came to the conclusion that I liked it. I suppose that's all that really matters, is I like it. I like my playing, I like my singing, I certainly like the songs. And that made the decision to go ahead and release it, the decision I made. I had, still waiting, asked for friends to be kind of like beta listeners and get back to me on specifically the people who knew my stuff, who would listen to the professional stuff I've done, especially over the last 10 years, and then listen to this and tell me, really, you know, is this a good idea? Is this, you know, is it my best foot forward? Absolutely not, as far as recording quality. But is it embarrassing? You know, if you heard this, would you go, oh, who's this guy? Who does he think he is? You know? And you know, not one single person got back to me. Nope. Not about the whole thing. I heard little bits, like, you know, my friend Mike made a suggestion about an arrangement he thought should fade instead of end abruptly. Okay, cool. And one other friend I have over in England mentioned she really liked a particular song, but nobody gave me that, it sounds like you did it at home, it's terrible, don't put it out, it's going to embarrass you, you know, that kind of thing. Because you know, when on these online sites, your latest record is the first thing people see. You know, you know, it's not in any other order or order of release as far as going back to the beginning up to the current. No, they start with, so the first thing people are going to, you know, bump into is this thing, which I've made no bones about. I called it, it was going to be called the living room session, and I thought that sounded really boring. And one day I came up with homemade, hand played, with a hyphen between, homemade hyphen hand played. So that says it. That says right away that this is, you know, home cooked, as it were. Which in cooking can be a good thing. Home cooked meal, yeah. Recording, not so good. Not so much. But it is what it is. And it's out. I've already made 3 videos. One's been out and promoted. September 1st, a song called She's Unreal. And it got, or in 7 days, got over 21,000 views. So apparently the audio didn't matter. People watched and listened. Okay. Then the day it comes out live everywhere, this coming Wednesday, the 22nd, I'm going to upload and begin promoting a video for the song called What Do You Want? Which is a real up-tempo kicker. And see how that goes. And then the third, and I believe will be the final video, is for a ballad called Abandoned to the Snow. And that'll probably go up in October. And then that'll be the cycle. And this will just become part of my online catalog. So that's the news that matters. You know, I don't want to get into any of the other nonsense that's been going on with my house insurance company and this, that, and crap. So that's it, new album, but I did not break my, what I call it, promise to myself, my vow. I did not spend any money, which is the big one. 2, I didn't involve anybody. So no, you know, I mean, it's never been a problem with the musician folks. They're all great. Casper, Tracy, Peter, Joel. And Joel as a producer, engineer, co-producer rather, engineer, never a problem. I wish I could say that about everybody in the past. But, so I didn't break that promise to myself. But nonetheless, doing this at home was still stressful. Again, the whole mental, am I going to put it out, am I not going to put it out, is going to be just a vanity thing for friends, or am I going to put it out and promote it? And that, you know, I mean, that was all mental wheels going and going, even like keep me awake a little, you know. That's no mean, I mean, that's no big deal. I'm always awake, but, yeah, that kind of stuff. So it was still stressful. And I don't think I'll do anything like it again. This was a one-off. I mean, only if I had some kind of writing spurt. Because you know, artists out there, writers, authors, sculptors, painters, when you get that, you know, go, when it happens, you really don't have a choice. You answer. And if I get that idea or whatever, I gotta write it. I gotta put it down.